So we know people that eat right. We know people that exercise. But is that a good definition of health? No, because we all know people that did those things and then died way too young. And then you all have this guy in your family, old Uncle Eddie, right? 93, shows up to every reunion and sits in the corner and just chain smokes and drinks the whiskey and won't die. You all know him, right? What is the difference? What is the difference between those two people? What happens if I cut my finger? I bleed, but what else? What's my body going to do to that cut? It's going to heal it. Everybody say heal. Your body is supposed to heal itself. You guys want to know what the definition of health is? I want to teach it to you. Most of you should already know it. And those of you that don't will never forget it again. Because health has nothing to do with how our body feels. Our health has everything to do with how our body heals. That's it. Again, the natural state of our body is a state of health and healing. If you're not healthy, you're not healing, you don't need to say, what's wrong with me? You need to say, what's interfering with me? What is getting in the way? Why is this happening? Hippocrates, years and years and years ago, was so smart to say, look well to the spine for the cause of disease. He knew that something was up. He knew that our body was healthy. Guys, you have to understand that God put the power inside of you already. Every one of you is supposed to be healthy and healing. It starts here in the brain, it runs down your spinal cord, it runs along nerves to every single cell in your body. If I cut the nerve that goes to your heart, what happens to your heart? It stops working. You are now what? You're dead. Well, what if I take a bone and I shift it out of alignment, put pressure on that nerve? What happens to the heart? Does it build health or disease? Disease. So that natural state of health, that natural state of healing is called being at ease. What does it feel like to be at ease? Feel relaxing? Peaceful? Everything's doing what it's supposed to do, right? That's our natural state of health and healing, is a state of ease. So when there's no interference between your brain and your organs are at a state of ease, which means that we should be at or near 100% of health and wellness, which means that we wouldn't have any problems. If we put pressure on this nerve, we're not at 100% anymore. We're now building a state of dis-ease. Dis-ease. If I write that out, it might look familiar. What does that look a lot like? Disease. The only difference between dis-ease and disease is who's calling it what. Diseases are just states of dis-ease. A medical doctor needs to name it so that they can diagnose it, so they know what medication and how to bill. That's called disease. It's nothing more than a state of dis-ease. Because if you put pressure on that nerve, that body's not going to function. It's not going to build ease anymore. It's going to build dis-ease. And if you leave that too long, now you've got a major problem in your health. Does this make sense to you? First quarter of chiropractic. We got glare.
Is that better, by the way?
The good news is I'm not writing too much else on there. First quarter of chiropractic school, and I told a couple of you this story not too long ago. We were in philosophy class learning about this stuff. And the doctor up front says, is light real? And I'm like, yes. Is darkness real? Everybody says, no. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, oh, I like being right. My wife can tell you. I felt like an idiot. But I'm like, I don't understand. What do you mean darkness isn't real? Do you guys think darkness is real? Or is darkness nearly the... so you guys were all smarter than I was. Very good. It's merely the absence of light. I said, wow. I was blown away because I was like, that's so simple, yet I just didn't get it. And now I get it, and I'll never forget it. But what does this have to do with your body? Well, if this is your source of your light, and it's going down here at 100% light, and it's going along these nerves 100%, and it's getting to the organ's going to have 100% light in that organ. It's going to do what it needs to do. If there's pressure on this nerve, are we going to get 100% light there anymore? No. That is now allowing what to creep in? Darkness. Light. Dark. Light. Dark. What's the only way to get rid of darkness? There's only one way to get rid of darkness. What is it? Turn on the light, shine the light, that's it. How can we put medication into this lung to fight darkness? We can't. You can't fight darkness with darkness. There's only one way to get health back in this lung. Take pressure off and allow the 100% light to get there again. And as it gets there, your body starts to regenerate, it starts to recuperate. In fact, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Windsor autopsies. This was done in 1921 by a medical doctor who had heard of chiropractic and said, I need to prove these guys wrong. This is crazy. I don't believe this stuff. So what he did is he took 50 cadavers at the University of Pennsylvania. And these cadavers, they all died of some types of diseases. And what he wanted to do was basically find the diseased organ and trace that nerve back to the spine and see if there was a misalignment there. This is what he found out. Out of 139 organs that were diseased, out of 139, 128 of those nerves were twisted, subluxated, misaligned, pressure on them, right to the right level of where they came out. And the other 10 went to the supply right above it. So basically what he just did, he proved chiropractic. He proved it by accident. Do you think this went viral? No, that wasn't a thing back then, but no. They hid this because they said, uh-oh, we just proved what we were trying to dispel. We better bury that, otherwise chiropractic is going to take over healthcare. And guess what chiropractic should do? Take over healthcare, because it's the only healthcare that actually takes care of your health from inside out. I tell people, now this is kind of funny to say, but I'm like, I see these amazing changes in my patients' lives. I'm talking about cancers reversing, heart disease reversing, diabetes reversing. That little child that couldn't open his eyes, and I do it by pushing on their backs. I don't have any of these big technical things going on in my office. I don't have scalpels, and I don't have medications and words you can't pronounce. I push on their back and they get better. Doesn't that sound kind of crazy? How amazing is that? That just proves the fact that you are supposed to be healthy. It's amazing. We're all healthy on the inside. We just need to let it out.